Good afternoon, Columbia Junior High. It is your assistant to the principal, Chris Lescano. You may remember me from such videos as how to set up your teacher hub and various morning announcements. I'm coming to you today about how to set up if you have a sub. Super important because there's a few extra steps than what we're used to when we are in a traditional setting. So we're going to go over that here in this video. First thing you need to do is if you are not feeling good and you are not up to running a Zoom class, you need to make sure that you have contacted Julie. Make sure she knows. She is the eyes and ears of our office, and it's super important for her to know what's going on. What she will do is make sure that you are set up in Sub Online. The reason that she's going to be doing it is because we have a few different substitutes that we are using and that we feel really good about in our system for online learning. So Julie will take care of that. If by the off chance that we are not able to get a sub, Julie will check in with you, and what you end up doing is doing some asynchronous learning with your students. You set up the lesson, put it on Google Classroom, letting your students know. But if you have questions about that, please check in with me. This video is going to be focused on if we do have a sub set up. So after you've checked in with Julie, what she's going to do is she's going to give you a CJH sub email account. That's going to be for you to send your Zoom links and your lesson plans to, so they have access to it. I'd love for you to CC Julie, myself, and Sherry into that so we can help support the substitute on those days. There are 3 different options for the substitute email. There's CGH Sub, CGH Sub 2, and CGH Sub 3 at 5schools.com. And so Julie will give you the one that works. If there's only one sub that day, we're just going to use the CGH Sub at 5schools. But if there's more than one, we got to make sure that we're parceling them out. I am on my Zoom account because that's the first thing I need to do. I need to make sure that my substitute has access to Zoom. So what I'm going to have you guys do is create a substitute Zoom links. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here where there's this handy dandy schedule meeting, and I'm going to do just that. I'm going to change this topic. It's going to be Zoom or substitute. I practiced earlier, that's why it's there. So I have that set up. Then I'm going to scroll down, and then I'm going to hit this recurring meeting. One of the things I want to make sure I'm doing is when I go to recurrence, I'm going to change this to no fixed time. That way it doesn't give you a set limit of how far out you can do. From there, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I have all the settings I want. So require authentication, the usual. But this is the important thing. Down here in alternative host, I need to make sure I'm putting the correct things. But this a little earlier. It's like those cooking shows where they talk about making the turkey and then they pull it out of the oven already done when it's usually 6 hours. That's what I did here. So I have these all set up. So I have these all as my alternative hosts, and I'm going to save that. So I have that piece taken care of. What I want to do is make sure that I am sharing this information. So I copy the invitation. And so what I want to make sure that I'm doing is I am placing it into my Google Calendar. So I'm going to go there, go ahead and open that. And I'm just going to put it in my stream. So I'm going to add that. So I'm going to post that in there just to make sure that it is set up in there. Perfect. And I would put a note to my students like, hey, this is the Zoom link that you guys are going to be using for class today. And you can use that for all of your classes. That's the brilliance in it. But you'll want to put it on the stream of each class that you are teaching. So just make sure you have that. What's been successful is I've seen teachers do this and email it to their students through Skyward. So the more we can communicate that, the easier it is and the less phone calls we're getting in the office about my child not being able to get into the Zoom. Make sure to add the substitute emails into your invite to students so they can get access to what you are posting into Google Classroom so they can help direct students when they have questions. Make sure that you are posting the work that the kids are going to be working on. You're going to post it here. You're going to email the substitute. Again, if they have a CGH sub at 5 schools, you're going to email the work, the lesson plan, and the Zoom meeting. Again, my suggestion is if you're going to be gone, try to make your lesson as asynchronous as possible. The substitute is there for support, but the students are able to just get going on their work. I think that is everything you need to know to set up for a substitute teacher. Again, the important things. Touch base with Julie. She'll take care of you. Make sure you set up a generic Zoom link that you can use anytime you need a sub. Post it into your Google Classrooms. And then also make sure that your work is loaded and ready to go for your students to work on. And once again, guys, thank you so much, and reach out if you have any questions. Make it a great day, whatever it takes. Other taglines. Bye, guys.